Every painful season is a teacher. Every difficult person is a mirror. This person came to my life as a mirror to me, to reflect back something on me that I need to work on. You attract people according to where you are. You cannot get a partner who disrespects you, not unless also you have a part in how you disrespect yourself. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy guys to be back. I know it's been a minute, but I'm always grateful to come back and just share what is in my heart. Okay, kindly don't forget to share, subscribe, and just join us, because on this channel we have a wonderful time. Okay, so as you've seen according to the title of the video, the hidden gift in pain, and how people and season exposes our wound and how we need to heal those wounds. So guys, I've divided this message into different segments. Okay, so the first segment of this video is why we have to have gratitude even in our pain. And when I was thinking about this thing, because this is something that has sat in my spirit, I was actually reading First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 18. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Okay, so when we talk about gratitude, we only lean against one side when things are going fine in our lives, yeah? But what the Bible is talking about is being grateful in all circumstances. I used to wonder, how do I give thanks when I've been hurt, when I've been rejected, when I've been abandoned, when I've been betrayed, yeah? Just to sit in that thought of, I should be thankful that someone betrayed me. I should be thankful that someone abandoned me. I should be thankful because one of my parents did this. You can't even wrap your head around it. You sit in gratitude at that moment. You're just thinking, I can't believe this friend of mine betrayed me. I can't believe, I can't even start to understand why my spouse betrayed me, right? So we have gone through these circumstances in one way or another, where you feel, how do I be grateful at this moment when I'm feeling like my world has been torn apart? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so every painful season is a teacher. Every difficult person is a mirror. Because guys, seasons come to be teachers to us. Like, all season bring something out of you. Okay, and every difficult person that is brought in your life, they sort of become a mirror of something that you need to work on, right? Why do I feel disrespected? Why will this person betray me? Probably it's because I already betrayed myself. Yeah, so if this person is a mirror of betrayal, it means I also have done a part of I have done betrayal to myself for me to allow someone to betray me. Yeah, because you see, this is something I've also come to just learn. Yeah, you attract people according to where you are. Okay, let me give an example. You cannot get a partner who disrespects you, not unless also you have a part in how you disrespect yourself. Because if you have high value or you have high standards, it's so hard even for someone to approach you to disrespect you. I don't know if it makes sense. So if you attract a partner who is coming to disrespect you and coming to step on your boundaries, it's because they can sense your boundaries are not strong enough. They can sense you don't value yourself. They can sense this person does not respect themselves as they, there's a difference between what you speak, what you say. Like, you can tell people, I respect myself, but at the end of the day, it's your action that will show people that you respect yourself. It is your values and where you have placed yourself that will indicate to people, do not mess with this person, do not mess with this woman, because she has very high standard. She values herself. She knows what she wants in life. Okay, so when you get people coming to disrespect you or coming to betray you, it's because they have seen you have left a door of betraying yourself, and then they sneak up on that door to come and do the same to you. So if these people are a mirror to us, and we remove ourselves from looking at this person, and look at yourself like, what is this person trying to show me? Are they being disrespectful because I do not hold myself in higher regard? Yeah? Because if you're whole, I'm telling you guys, people can sense when you have high value. They can sense that, and they understand we can't mess with this person. Ask yourself, why will one person scan around the room and know who to disrespect and who not to disrespect? Because it's the aura you give, it's the vibe you give, it's the energy you give. So there's a difference between saying I cannot allow someone to disrespect me, and there's just something about a person who does not even have to talk about it. You don't have to tell people I will not sit here and be disrespected. They will not even start the disrespect in the first place, because they sense the energy that your existence bring in this room. Okay, when the Bible says in all circumstances be grateful, because now you understand. When someone now does something to me, I'm just like, thank God, I can see where I allowed this person to do this to me. So think about this way. How would you know if you have rejection wound? Not unless someone comes and rejects you. Okay? So the obvious thing is that you think as a person, as a human being, you think you're complete, you think you have probably don't have traumas, or you don't have something that you need to work on. Okay? But not unless something happens to you, then you realize, is this a wound that you need to work on? Is this something that is a childhood trauma that you need to now, sit down and try to see how can you work around this situation? Okay, so not unless someone triggers something inside of you, it means that thing was already inside of you. I don't know if it makes sense. You cannot be triggered and feel like you've been rejected, not unless you also feel inside of you you've gone through there's a wound of rejection. So when someone does it, it pains the most, because already the wound was not healed. The wound inside of you was not healed. Betrayal is hurtful because you already have a betrayal, a cover-up betrayal inside of you. So when someone betrays you, you feel like your world has come to an end, because you feel like this thing, why do I have to be betrayed? You hear people saying over and over, I don't know why people reject me. I don't know why people betray me. I don't know why people do these things to me. Because they keep coming to show you, work on something, work on this thing that sat inside of you for a very long time. Because if you keep being triggered, if you keep attracting people who are coming to do the same thing over and over, can't you see this is like a lesson coming to repeat itself over and over until you are able to confront that thing that happened, or that thing that triggered you, or that wound that was unhealed. You go around thinking that it doesn't matter what you went through as a child, right? Or that one of your parents was absent. Yeah? But this is the problem. You will not know how bad that rejection or being abandoned is sitting inside of you, not unless now you get into relationship and someone walks away, and then you realize, oh, you get triggered. It's like an open wound, because the wound already existed. Listen, guys, the reason why other people have rejection wound, and some other people have abandonment wound, and other people have father wound, and other people have mother wound, is because it's already a wound inside of you. The reason why I can have a father wound and someone else to have a mother wound is because probably my mom was present, my dad was absent. And this other person, their father was present, their mother was absent. It is already, you're only triggered to work on something that is already a wound inside of you. If it's betrayal, so there are people who, when they get betrayed, they move on very fast, because that's not something they need to work on. They don't have a wound of betrayal. Someone can decide to betray you, but if you don't have a wound, deep-seated wound inside of you, you don't feel like, I need to work on this, or now it has opened a wound of betrayal because someone betrayed me previously and I didn't work on the betrayal. So some people, they don't look at abandonment as they think this thing has ended, it has ended. But for another person, they will look at, this person has abandoned me, and you feel it so bad, okay? Because for you, it's a deep-seated wound that you need to work on it, bring it on the surface and address it. The second part of this conversation is the mother and the father wound, okay? Let me look at it this way. Many of us are working with father and mother wound. That's true, okay? We don't even realize it, yeah? A mother wound can show up as feeling like you're never enough, yeah? or you people pleasing or being overly critical of yourself. You see, your mother is the first person that comes to, is the first person that you meet that is here to reassure you, to tell you that you're okay, that you're going to be fine. They're here to support you. When it's coming from a parent, as your first encounter, if your parents validate you, if your parents were there, present parents, and they spoke into your life, what happens is that you walk with so much confidence because you are assured, you were told over and over, you felt loved completely, like you don't feel like there's something lacking, as when your mother is there to assure you and to validate you. Okay, for those people who probably their parents were present but absent, I don't know how to say, you grew up with a mother who was absent present, a mother who was present absent, meaning they existed but they were never they never spoke to you, they never validated you. So you become a person who is always looking for, you're always people pleasing because you're looking for what you lacked in your first encounter of a person who should have given you love. Okay, and you become overly critical about yourself, so you keep doubting who you are, you keep doubting a lot of things. Okay, if you have a father wound, this thing can manifest as lack of confidence. If you never had a father, they might show up as lack of confidence, or you're seeking approval from men. Okay, because no one approved you, validated you when you're growing up. Okay, so you're constantly needing validation, and that's why you see some people always chasing for male validation. They don't care which kind of a man it is. For them, it's this. If this man says I am beautiful, they think the world has come to an end. But look at the girls or the women, the girls who became women, whose father were present, like present dads, present loving father. We know there are fathers who were present but not loving, fathers who were present but they never validated you. But look at the people whose father they were present, they were validated. I am telling you, those women work with so much high standards. You cannot just come and shake that person with that just I think you're beautiful, because they first had this mommy, you're beautiful. Here in Kenya, most African men, African father will call their daughter mommy. Okay, so you hear this over and over, mommy, you're beautiful, never allow yourself to be mistreated, mommy, I'm here for you, if you need anything. So your dad was there to validate you, your father was there to love on you. So for you, it's not such a big deal when a man comes and say I love you. I don't know if it makes sense. But on the other hand, if someone grew up without a father, or they grew up with a father who was absent, even the slightest love, like even the slightest pint of love, a man just says I love you, and automatically they feel like, oh, my world has come to an end. Not to say every person that grew up without a father has the father wound. I don't know. I feel like not everyone. Some people have worked on themselves and they are able to navigate this situation differently. So now when you're older, then you realize, why is not everyone moving the way I'm moving? Why is not everyone sucking up to their bosses? Why is that everyone is not looking to be loved by everybody? Now you understand. So you now see the dynamics when you grow up. Probably when you're growing up, when you're younger, you could not see, you didn't understand that these things were coming to affect you much later in life. Okay, if you grew up in a healthy relationship with your dad, another person grew up, this is just an example, guys. Okay, another person grew up in a relationship where their father was absent, or a present but not a good father. I know you understand what I'm saying. They are not present, they are not loving towards you, towards the kids. Okay, so if you both go into a relationship, yeah, and it happens that your partner decides to just walk away with no reason, okay, or whatever reason they have, one who comes from a very healthy relationship with their father, they just look at it, I was dating this guy, or I was in a relationship with this guy, or I was married to this guy, and this relationship has come to an end. Is it hurtful? Yes, it is. Will I cry? Yes, I will cry, probably because I love this guy or I love this man. Okay, but they don't internalize it as though there's something wrong with them. So if they don't look at it like something is wrong with me, that's why this man walked away. Now, the girl who comes from a very unhealthy background, the first thing that they think about, I am unworthy, I am not lovable. And that's why you see people saying, I don't have let me just use a Kiswahili word, you guys. I don't have nyota ya mapenzi. This is to mean, this is just, let me translate it. People say, I don't get to be loved. Like every time I get a partner, they walk away. So they internalize as if they are not worthy of love. And you see these people, these people who are in a relationship, one will just look at it like it's okay. But the other person internalize like, I am not worth to be loved because my father left. I am not worth to be taken care of, because already that is a wound, deep-seated wound inside of you. Okay? So now this person has put a mirror in front of you to understand that you don't value yourself. You don't see yourself as worth of love. Okay? So what do you think will happen moving forward? You keep attracting people who do not see your value. Guys, you keep attracting people who don't value you, people who, because already you inside of you don't feel like you're worth it. That's what I'm saying. Energy does not lie. You can say I respect myself, but energy does not lie, because inside of you there's something that has to be brought to the surface. Work on it. You see, when people do shadow work, when people go to therapy, it's not because you're going to therapy because you're like something bad is happening into your life, okay? It's just because you want to bring these things to surface and work on them, so that when a relationship ends, you don't feel like you're the target of bad relationships. You don't feel like anytime a relationship ends is because you feel unworthy. You feel like you don't deserve to be loved, okay? Someone else just feel like, we dated, it didn't work out, so we move on. Because for them, it's not an wound that needs to be addressed. They don't feel like they have any abandonment issues. They don't feel like a man leaving me, it means something deeper than it should. I don't know now if you get what I'm saying, okay? So this isn't, for a person who has a father wound, it's not just about a heartbreak. It now becomes a self-internalization. Yeah, that's the word. So it becomes a self-internalization, and you start feeling like the outcome of the breakup of the relationship is because of something inside of you, which is not true. Someone can just be a shitty man or a very unkind person, and they do that. But now you see you're internalizing it and saying, because I am, you're not. It's just a relationship has come to an end, okay? So it is a spotlight on what you need to heal. So now, are you seeing why in all circumstances give thanks? Because when someone walks away and you're able to catch yourself and remove yourself emotionally from feeling like my life has come to an end, it's just a mirror of, oh, so I didn't know that I was feeling unworthy. I didn't know that I was not loving myself enough to allow this person to do this to me. Okay? So this is, now you understand what I'm saying, okay? So think about it, because I'm not a therapist to actually, but you can do this self-work. You can seek professional who can help you unpack your mother and your father wound, okay? So the third part of this conversation is the cycle of repeated lesson. Sawa? I've said so, okay? Here is the hard truth. The lesson will keep repeating itself until you learn it. Okay? So now, if a mirror comes in front of you, you need to sit down with yourself, journal, get to know, what is this season teaching me? When someone does something to me, what is this season teaching me about myself? Then you work on yourself, because you don't want this thing to keep repeating themselves, okay? So different faces, same energy, different job, the same trigger. So now, guys, you've seen people move from one job to another, but it's like your karma follows you to the next job. Whatever you think was not working here follows you to the next relationship. Why do you think so? It's because when something comes to an end, you have to take a moment. You see, I fear people who move from one thing to another very fast. People who never want to sit down with themselves, because when a relationship breaks up, there's a part that you played and there's a part that I played, okay? There's a part that both of the partner played, okay? So when you don't take time to actually just ask yourself questions. So this relationship ended because this man treated me badly. That's his problem. What was your problem, Julia? How did you participate in allowing this man to treat you badly? And I'm using this as an example, okay? So why was this person mistreating me? Why was this person very disrespectful towards me, right? Because they have a part that they played, and there's a part that I played in allowing this thing to keep happening. So if I don't sit down with myself, space between moving from one relationship to another, and there's a space in between where it allows you to look inside of you and see, Julia, your self-confidence and your self-worth is on the floor. So you have to pick up that self-confidence. You have to pick up your self-esteem, so that when you move up to the next relationship, you don't think now, and you go to another relationship, and the guy does the same thing to you. Now you keep thinking, you hear these people say, oh, I don't know why I attract bad men, or why do I attract people who abuse me? Because there was a lesson that was not learned of you. Now look at it this way. People will always be people, and they will do what they need to do. But you have to refuse to move with baggage from one relationship to another, one friendship to another. If this work was not teaching you all right, this job that you're doing, or this working environment, and probably you felt a certain way, there is before you transition to another work environment, which part did you play in this work for them to feel like they don't need to respect you, or they don't feel like they need to increase your salary? Do you get what I'm saying? So now you catch yourself and now work on, why would someone think I'm not worth to be paid a certain amount of money before I move to another job? Because I will keep feeling like I think I deserve, but people can see through me that I don't deserve what I'm asking for. So if you get into a relationship and you deserve and you command respect from your partner, they know when you truly believe what you're asking for, but they also see that you're just talking, but the energy is not giving of someone who demands of respect. They know. That's what I'm saying. Your energy does not lie. If you command respect, you don't have even to verbalize it. If you deserve more money, in your work environment, you actually don't have to verbalize it. You know, we tend to think like I have to self-advocate. There are things, your energy, your presence commands those things to happen. I don't know how to say it, guys. You command the room before someone cannot even come and play around with those things of disrespecting you, or someone coming to mistreat you in a relationship, because they are thinking, this girl is going to go so fast, block me, shut the door. The boundaries are so high. Even before I open my mouth to disrespect this woman, everything will be shut. You understand what I'm saying? So your energy says that, okay? But there are still other people who are very people who come and test your boundaries. They come and test your self-worth. They come and test your self-respect. They come and test how much do you love yourself. They come and test you, okay? So you have to, once they come, they have to know that your respect is up here. Your value is up here, okay? Because if they come, they've been hearing you yap, 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 and say, oh, I can't allow someone to disrespect me, oh, la, la. Someone will test you, I'm telling you the truth. They will throw a stone at you, but they have to, what you're saying, you have to mean what you're saying. You understand what I'm saying? You can't just be saying things and not, if you value yourself, it has to show in every way. If you are a woman who values themselves, it has to show in every, you can't sleep on the job, you can't sleep up, because you allow now people who come and disrespect you, people who come and mistreat you, people who come and do all these things. You understand now what I'm saying, okay? So you give up that energy, okay? So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me about me? Remove the other person out of equation. And I'm telling you guys, I promise you this, you're going to always move from one situation to another, a better human being, a better person. Because you understand now, in this one, I will never want to feel the same way I felt here. So before I move here, there's self-work here. And this self-work makes me elevate. Show me what is my problem in this season. What is why am I attracting this and this? Why am I attracting this kind of friendship? Why am I attracting this kind of jobs that diminishes and doesn't value the kind of output I do? Okay? So once you start asking those questions, you have no problem. Okay? So the fourth part about this conversation is how to start your healing journey. Now that we know, now that you get to have time to understand what was the problem with us, okay? I'm going to say this. Number one, acknowledge your wounds without shame. If you have any wound you feel it's affecting how you move in your life, acknowledge it. I have low esteem. I feel the way I feel like the reason why I do the things I do is because probably I feel like I don't have self-confidence, yeah, or I feel like my esteem is so low, or I feel like this is the kind of trauma that I went through as a child and it's now showing up in my adulthood in this way, okay? You see, the mirror, when someone comes, when we get bad people to come into your life and do these things to you, they become to mirror what is lacking inside of you, to only place you in self-awareness. Because not unless someone does that, you will never understand, you'll never be aware that I am struggling with this. I am struggling with valuing myself or how I see myself. People can keep telling you, we believe in you, we trust what you can do, we see potential in you, but not unless it's something that comes from inside of you. You sit down and understand, I am a valuable human being. It doesn't matter how many people strangers can tell you until it comes from within you, okay? So it becomes, you're put in a place of awareness. I acknowledge it without shame, because, and this is what I keep saying, how disservice it is for you to think that that we are perfect beings. We are not perfect beings. Everyone is struggling with something. So for you to acknowledge your struggle, that should not bring you shame, because as much as you're not struggling with the same thing, we are all struggling. We're all going through a phase in our life, okay? That's very important, okay? If you're someone who understands the place of God in your life, now you sit down, once you understand, God, I'm struggling with this issue. I am struggling with what my dad did. I'm struggling with what my mom did to us. I'm struggling with what this and this happened in my life. I'm struggling with accepting and valuing the kind of a person I am. And that's why I move in the society and allowing people to come in my life and do what they need to do, because they can see I don't value. Help me to value myself. And believe me, when these things come and you're self-aware and you allow God to heal the broken part of you, because there's no way even God can heal something that you're not acknowledging. If you feel you're not broken, how can He heal something that you still are pretending it's not broken? Something can only be healed when it's acknowledged. You can only go to a doctor when you know that you have pain somewhere. So you're going to tell the doctor, I think I have pain on my left side of the ribs. But you can't just, how can someone heal? How can even a doctor treat you when you cannot acknowledge the pain that is inside of you? The same way, God can only heal what you have acknowledged that is wrong inside of you. Okay? It doesn't mean that now when you work on something you become 100% whole. It just means now every time something happens, you're able to catch and realize, oh, I'm triggered because this is something that is a trigger for me, because I understand where it's coming from. Are you seeing now the difference? So if these feelings are still alive but buried inside of you, they will seep and leak and show up in your relationship, in your friendships, in your marriage, in your relationship with your children. They will show up in so many ways, even in your identity, how you show up as a person. So you have to sit down and just acknowledge and allow God to heal what needs to be done, and also work on yourself by seeking help in the best way you know how. Okay? Something else you can do is always come back to yourself. Always, every time you go through a season, go back home. And home is only you. Guys, there's a book I think I ever mentioned, Welcome Home, by Zana. What is her name, guys? There's a book called Welcome Home. If I get the name, I'm gonna put it here, okay? She talks about the home is you. If you create homes in other people, you're going to be very disappointed, because when they live with your house. I think that's what she says in her book. So you have to create a safe home for yourself, so that when life becomes hard, you can always go back to yourself. If something happens to you, you go back home to you. you don't go looking for homes in other people, because now we are grown up. We get to understand you cannot rely on other people to be safe. Okay, it's only you and he who lives inside of you. Okay, so create a home within yourself. That, thank God they happened. That time I felt like I was the most disadvantaged person, but when I look back, I'm just like, how would I have known what kind of a person I am, what power I hold inside of me, what values are inside of me, or the things that were just buried inside of. How would I have known, not unless that person did this, or that season taught me this. I don't know, I don't know if you understand. Now when you see, this season was here to teach me how to go back to myself and value myself and love myself, or just take care of myself, or learn that this season taught me how to fill my cup, so that I never walk around bitter and angry because I kept doing things for people when I forgot myself. Okay, so it's so important, guys, to look at sometimes pain in a way that, or rejection, or abandonment, or a mother wound, or a father wound, as a redirection back to you on how to just become a wholesome person for your own good. I love you guys so much. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.